In Genesis chapter 1 verse 3, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Now, that very passage of the Bible emphasizes not just the first creation, but the importance of light in the creation of every other thing that came after the creation itself. Now, it also emphasized the reason that light seems to be needed in development of things, be it even now as we are as a people. So it was no surprise that the Ndokwa people requested also that there should be light. But the funny thing that came after that request and protest seemed to be raising a whole lot of dust. And that dust is what we shall be looking at today on no other but Critical Lens on Atlantic TV. I need to welcome you. My name is Michael Gobadia. You do know on Critical Lens, we critically look at major issues on the front burner in the country and truly discuss about them to critically have a nice perspective to these very issues. And today will be no different from what we always enjoy doing on Critical Lens. Just like my introduction, I talked about that recent push for the Ndokwa people to be connected also and have a sense of belief that they are not being marginalized by having light, which is critical in every development. And today we'll be looking at that on Critical Lens, as we'll be having a direct discussions with the people truly involved in this request. And funny enough, also looking at the reactions coming from other persons that this request is being made from. And that's what we shall be looking today on Critical Lens. And to really critically look at the issues with us, we have three lovely guests joining us. And it's only right I fully introduce them. And we're talking of no other person but Barrister Evans Ufili. Barrister Evans Ufili, nice to have you on Critical Lens on Atlantic TV. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you and good afternoon.
Well, also joining us is no other person but Mr. Sterling Nkem Ado. I hope I got that right. Welcome also, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. A pleasure is all mine.
Well, also joining us to critically look at this issue is Mr. Lucky Okuwa rather. Thank you so much for also joining us, Mr. Lucky.
Thank you so much.
I rather want to start with you, Mr. Sterling Nkem. You could understand in my introduction, I talked about the Light Up Ndokwa movement that requested that you people should also be connected to the national grid. But before we go into all the drama that transpired after that very request, I want us to first start. Let's fully understand. Give us a clear perspective about this very movement and why that seems to be critical, that the Ndokwa people should also be joined, especially to the national grid.
Well, thank you very much. This issue of lighting up Ndokwa Nation
Yes.
has been lingering for a very long time.
Okay.
And this issue started about 20 years ago.
Okay.
When the then President Olusegun Obasanjo approved 50 megawatts to be stepped down, spread across 50-kilometer radius for the host communities, which is in Ndokwa Nation.
Okay.
From the IPP plant, we were generating 480 to the national grid as at that time.
Okay.
And till now, that has not been done. Even now, we are generating over 1,000 megawatts. Yet the 50 megawatts that Obasanjo has approved for Ndokwa people have not also been implemented till date. You know, in every developing society, developing community, lights is paramount.
Yes.
Without light, there's no development.
Okay.
And Ndokwa as a region, the three local governments are comprised of Ndokwa Nation, Ndokwa East, Ndokwa West, and Ukwane local government need this power to develop.
Okay.
Until date, there's no power. 20 years running, there's no power in Ndokwa land. That is why we are asking and reminding the federal government that what they've approved to us for the past 20 years is yet to be implemented. That they should make sure that this thing gets to us for the development of our region. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Stanley. I'll come back to you. Now, Barrister Evans, I really need to bring you into the discussion. Just like Mr. Stanley Nkem said, it's 20 years in the making in that very request, knowing that, like he said, our former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, gave that directive that host communities should also enjoy with a step down of 50 megawatt. But my question now, undermining, I don't want us to go too political. We've had 3 successive administrations from 2005 up to now. And we don't know, have the requests, why have the requests not been made before now? That's where the political angle seems to be. Many felt that why is the Ndokwa people asking this now? That's why the reactions from the deputy governor of Delta State seem to give light for that very reason and a need of me asking the question, why 20 years after, why have the demand not been asked from the needed authorities before now?
No, that demand has always been there. We've been making that demand on individual capacities and capacities of persons in little groups. Not like the demand have not been made consistent. It's been there. But you know, when you keep a man in darkness for 20 years and, okay?
Yes.
What darkness does is that it makes you to become very disorganized. And so when you become disorganized, there's a need to now voice out with desperation to ask that demand be met and such be met now and now, okay? The 20 years we've waited is to demonstrate the patience of the Ndokwa people. Ndokwa people are not given to protests. We hardly protest. How many times have you heard that there's protests in Ndokwa land in Delta State as compared to other areas where there is discordance?
Not any I can remember. Go ahead.
So that tells you that we're very tolerant people. We know how to be very patient, even with government, with anyone, even with strangers. We're very patient people. So this tells you that we're not doing this out of mischief, even though there are people who are all about the place making noise. They say we are the ones making noise, but I think they are the ones making noise. Okay? And then when we rose to say that we need to have this light now, enough is enough, they sent the police to come and disrupt the protest, a peaceful protest that was organized on the 16th day of June 2025.
Yeah.
Okay? They sent policemen that came to disrupt the protest, introduce violence into it, beat up our kinsmen, and sent them into the forest. Destroy mosaic worth millions of naira. Destroy properties. And, left our kinsmen in utter distress. Injured some of them with canisters and tear gas. And what they are telling us is that we have no right to talk after all that. It is so disconcerting, to say the least, that you come to my house, you destroy my things, and you ask me not to cry. What that means in English is that he that comes to a man's house, okay, must come and do what is right. Otherwise, if he's leaving, he will develop hunchback.
Okay, Barrister, sorry, I'll still be with you because you said this took 20 years before that protest was made. But my question is, where they follow the normal standard, the formal standard, was the process followed? Now, the process I'm asking, before any required protest, I do know you are a lawyer, you need to write to the needed authorities. requesting for
Very well.
you to do a protest,
But,
especially the Nigerian
but,
police. Was that
but
made before that protest was made?
that was the first thing that was made by the Light Up Ndokwa Movement Association.
Okay.
Not just to the police, but to all relevant authorities. Okay. And we have received and signed copies of all the letters.
Okay.
We did that because we want to follow protocol. Otherwise, by law itself, by law and by the provision of the 1999 Constitution, we do not need that permission.
Okay.
The Court of Appeal have said that in plethora of cases. But we dispensed with that and decided that we must inform the police and other relevant authorities. And we have all the letters signed and acknowledged by the police force and every other law enforcement agency.
Granting
So
you
that
people
was
that
why
right to
we were
protest.
surprised. Yes, that
Okay.
was why we were surprised when they came to disrupt the protests, having signed and acknowledged letters dispatched to them accordingly. So what we did was in conformity with the laws of the Federal Republic of this country, the 1999 Constitution as amended. It is our right to protest peacefully, which we were doing on that particular day before the police came and introduced violence to it and injured a lot of persons. And what we are being told thereafter is that we have no right to talk about it. That we have no. When the deputy governor delivered an interview and said we are noisemakers,
Okay.
people are saying we have no right to respond and the rest of that. And we disagree. We disagree. The deputy governor is from Ndokwa land. He understands exactly what our plight and the message is. So the least he could have done is to look for solution and not to discard a protest that was organized peacefully. And we are not relenting in our effort to ensure that we'll continue on this protest until they provide power. There's nothing that can put us down.
Okay, well,
Not even the
Barrister,
state.
I will plead with you to hold on. I'm not putting you down, though. But let me quickly come to Mr. Lucky Okuwa. I guess you've heard what the barrister said and what Mr. Stanley Nkem said. But I want to follow up that question by asking, would it be right protesting now, especially in the state, knowing that when it comes to power generation and distribution, it has been exclusive in the hand of the federal government? It is only recently, in the last administration, that we know that the right was given, some legislative moves were made that states should also join in the distribution, generation and distribution of power. So my question is, why was it not sent to federal lawmakers representing the Ndokwa nation? Why was the protest not taken to the height? I'm talking now about Abuja, rather than being done here. So that's where the feeling of a political stand seems to be with this protest.
Yeah, why the protest started from our own state, because what we are talking of now is in Delta State.
Yes.
So taking the protest over there in the federal capital, when we have not started from home, it will look like we are not recognizing them, we are not recognizing our leaders, or we are not respecting them. So for we to start from the grassroots, we have to start this protest from our own land.
Okay.
Also making the government, those who are in power, know that this is what we are about to do. So that is the reason we did not start all the way from Abuja. After all, the IPP we are talking about is in our land. So there's an adage that say in our language that so when you want to look good, you have to start looking good from your home to outside. So that's the reason we decided to start from our own state by drawing the attention of the people in power that this is what we need. And it's time we have to let them know, because more we keep on pretending as if all is well in Ndokwa nation, all is not well. And there's a lot of lapses that's on ground. But at least we have to start from this step down of the IPP. So starting from the state where we reside is to show them that they have a responsibility to carry, to inform those in Abuja that this thing have to be put in place. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Lucky. Mr. Stanley, I need to bring you back to the discussion. And I was opportune to know you were arrested after that very protest, and a whole lot happened. But I'm really asking this question. Where are we at the moment as it concerns that very movement and the state government? Have the issues been resolved? Because I know immediately after the protest, you were invited and detained, or rather arrested. So let's understand where we are at the moment. Have the issues been resolved? Because we do know that His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Sheriff Oboriwori, mandated the Deputy Governor, Monday Oyeme, to reach out and do the needful, especially as it concerns the reconnection, or putting rather the Ndokwa nation on the national grid. So my question would be 2 points. Where are we at the moment in dealing with the issues that arose on account of the protests?
Well, thank you very much, my dear brother. Where we are at the moment is that we are still asking for the step down of power to be given to the Ndokwa people.
Okay.
Because even when the governor, like you rightly said, mandated the deputy governor to make sure that Ndokwa people are connected to the national grid,
Yes.
what was approved to the Ndokwa people is the 33 line, not the 11, not the 11 commercial, not the 22, not the 22 commercial. It's the 33, that's uninterrupted.
Okay.
And we knows that area has not been touched. Like what the question you asked before to Mr. Lucky,
Yes.
I want to answer a little about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
In 2005, when the project was commissioned, and that 50 megawatts was approved to us, we have a rep there in the House of National Assembly who happens to be the House Committee Chairman on Power, Right Honorable Mrs. Almoni Se,
Yes.
and also a senator from Delta North, from Ndokwa Nation, late Patrick Osakwe.
Yes.
These persons tried their best, but it's as if there are some persons that are afraid of Ndokwa Nation development. Because when there's power, there's going to be development in Ndokwa land. Then came to the area of Ime Olisimegu, Osayosai, Nwaboshi, even Okowa, the former governor, was also a senator representing Delta North.
Yes.
Each time they raise this issue in the National Assembly, it's as if there are persons that does not want this issue to fly. So even in 2015, we also agitated and were called to the presidency on this particular issue, this particular matter. And in 2017, an award was given to TCN, measuring 4 billion. The director of TCN passed through the back door. Nobody knows what his reasons, why he passed through the back door without passing through the due process by going through the BPP, Bureau of Public Procurement, and pull out 1.2 billion, came for the site clearance, fenced it, started the tower line, and the money finished halfway. How can he now pull out the 2.8 there? This happened in 2022. That is where the project becomes abandoned.
Yeah.
So where we go from here is we are still asking the government, through the state government, that this light issue, because the state government has a very major role to play. There's a very large portion of land, acres of land, that the state government need to self-fill for the tower line to be able to get through to the IPP before the lines will be connected. And they have not done that. So they have a role to play. We are still asking them to come out. We are open for dialogue, to come out and let's reason together to know how we can be able to get this thing done for the Ndokwa people. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Stanley. Barrister Evans, I guess you heard what Mr. Stanley said. And my question is...
Very well.
Yes, let me rephrase my question. Like you put it, people waiting in court. Let me rephrase my question that I asked Mr. Stanley. Yes, we do know that the state governor have mandated the deputy governor to reach out to the Ndokwa people, especially this very movement. But my question is, how much of that reaction, how much of your move, the movement move in reaching out also to the government of the day? Because we do know at the end is the Ndokwa people having the light that is the major push and the major gains from all of this. So my question, as the legal department of this very movement, have you also made any move, sent emissary to the deputy governor or the government of the day in Delta State in trying to bridge friends and amend this issue and see how these issues can be resolved?
While we're on the field, several moves were made. Even people from the camp of the deputy governor called, okay, to reach out to us. Some other organization called to reach out to us. And not too long ago, the legal advisor to the NNU called, okay,
Yes.
and all that. So there've been attempts, to meet at some point, but that has not crystallized. Okay. But the demonstration, the protest itself was not targeted at anything sinister.
Okay.
That was why it was peaceful before the police came and introduced violence to it. It was not. So the idea is that we'll take a letter to the appropriate authority while on the protest.
Hello? Barrister Evans, are you still there with us? Hello. Oh, okay. Let's see how we connect to Barrister Evans.
Can I come in there, please?
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead, Mr. Sterling, as he tries to get to us.
Just like what the barrister was saying there before, he had some technical issues.
Yes.
Letters were written to appropriate authorities before the protest.
Okay.
And the deputy governor or the Delta State government saying that they are not aware of the protest or they've reached out to us and we refuse coming is a lie in one part. Because the deputy governor was granted an interview on Arise TV,
yes,
where he also notified the fact that, yes, there are people that want to protest, and those persons that want to protest are not bona fide members of Ndokwa extraction, which was also a blunder on his part. And that really gave everyone the need to come all out and protest on this light of Ndokwa issue.
yes.
The governor giving a directive to the deputy governor, letters have been written severally on this issue. And they've called for stakeholders meeting without calling us, the Light Up Ndokwa Nation Movement Association.
Okay.
So what are they undermining? Because I know they are targeting it political, but this group is an apolitical group, not political group. We are political.
Mr. Ikem, please, if I may come, do bear with me. I'm just a bit curious. Yes. If they reach out to you or they do not reach out to your movement, is like not coming to the Ndokwa people the most important thing to achieve? Because it looks as if there is quarrel in between the government and this movement, and that seems to be the holding block at the moment. Should that be?
There is no quarrel between we and the government.
Because you said
there's no quarrel between we and the government. They did not reach out to us. They didn't reach out to us. Even when our letters got into them, they didn't reach out to us. And even they tried to stop the protest, not to hold.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what
there were money shared the night before the day of the protest.
Okay.
Allegedly, to make sure that the protest did not hold.
Okay.
But thank God, every sons and daughters of Ndokwa extraction are angry that this light that has been approved to us has not gotten to us till date. That was why we all came out and protested.
Okay.
Instead of coming to address us, where police was sent to us and started shooting at us, and many of us were arrested in the process.
Okay, so for you, what will be the way forward in dealing with this issue and
like I always said, like the barrister said,
Yes.
that the government has already sent a legal team through the NNU, who happens to be the apex body of the Ndokwa people,
Ndokwa people.
Ndokwa Neku Union, to reach out to us, which we've also replied them that we are open for dialogue. So we are waiting.
Okay.
At any time they call us, we'll be there to know what they want to tell us, and we'll reach out to the government to see what they have for the Ndokwa people, to make sure that the 33 line, the IPP step down, is achieved in Ndokwa nation. Thank you.
How much of an impact has this been for Ndokwa people? Having to generate light and not having light for the past 20-something years. How much have that hindered the development of your great community?
This has hindered the development of Ndokwa people greatly. The only federal government presence we have in Ndokwa nation is the prison. Is the prison. That is the only federal government presence we have in Ndokwa nation. And like I said from the onset, that we need light to develop. Without light, there's no development in any region. So it has affected Ndokwa people greatly. The step down of power is what we are asking for. It's what has been approved to us. That's what we are asking, that it should be implemented. Please pass this message across to the state government and the federal government that the Ndokwa people are suffering. We generate power to the national grid, yet we don't have power. We are host to 7 parental oil company, yet there's no meaningful development in Ndokwa nation. We are the second largest gas deposit in the whole world, yet there's nothing happening in Ndokwa nation. We are tired of this gross marginalization, and that is why we are asking that the power should be given unto the Ndokwa people. The step down of power, the IPP, 50 megawatt, spread it across 50-kilometer radius of Ndokwa nation. Thank you.
We thank you so much for joining us. Gentlemen, we truly thank you. We'll see how we can make this in another edition when there is new development concerning this very movement. Thank you so much for your time, gentlemen.
That is available now.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Well, that's a wrap right here on Critical Lens. We'll talk greatly about the recent protest that was done by the Light Up Ndokwa movement and a whole lot of reaction that seemed to have followed that protest, especially coming from the government of the day and specifically the deputy governor of Delta State. But we do know there are already moves to see how they can resolve the issues and do that which is paramount for every government, and that is bringing the dividends of democracy to the people of the state. And Ndokwa people are definitely one great bond of this big heart, and you know, it's Delta State. Well, that also makes it a wrap right here on Critical Lens. You know I will always say this. Please go to our social media handles. They are there on your screen. Let's get your reaction as it concerns this very discussion. What should be the way forward in dealing with this recent protest? And also, the Ndokwa people asking that being critical as it concerns the national grid, then playing a major part in ensuring that the national grid is also being looked at. Should they not also enjoy from it also having light uninterrupted and also gain to see how Ndokwa would develop and be a critical or add their own critical part to the development of Delta State? Let's get your reactions, and please, we'll be more than happy to get all of them as they come. But anyway, like I said, it's a wrap on Critical Lens. Let's see how we'll do this same time next week, where we'll have another lovely discussion on Critical Lens. I still remain Michael Gobadia. Bye for now. God bless you.